Hello everybody, welcome. My name is Ginio Franker and I am from the firm Centerpreneur, Learning and Development. And I would like to thank you. I would like to thank Mr. Peterson for inviting me to have a little talk about new media and how we can promote small wind turbines in remote areas, small villages, and especially promote it and get people more involved in small wind turbines. I very much agree with Professor Osman, his presentation and his questions about a holistic approach. There's also the philosophy behind the name Zentrepreneur. So it's got to be eco, it's got to be everybody, leave nobody behind, and it's got to be a little bit commercial to be viable. Having small wind turbines in remote areas is quite a challenge, and the challenge is to get the people informed, to get people accustomed to new methods and new, new developments about the technology, and that it is within reach now. People have the misconception that renewable energy is expensive, it is probably not worthwhile against the conventional methods compared to diesel generators, but with the new technologies and with the new business models, we can really be competitive and make a change for the good. How can new media play a role in this? I am happy to see the younger generation also in this conference. Are there any millennials in here? Generation Z, right? So thank you for being here, because this presentation is going to talk to you especially, and also to the older generation. What I mean by saying is we are all familiar with influencers, right? Like PewDiePie, or can you name another influencer that you are following on Instagram maybe, or on YouTube? No? But are you familiar with influencers?
Yes.
You are familiar. So what kind of influencers are you familiar with?
Greta Thunberg.
Greta. So it's mostly the sporters, mostly the fashion and architects, but no influencers for renewable energy, no influencers for small wind turbines. Why not? So that is the difference we can make, especially talking to the younger generations, because you don't need a lot of capital to do it, that's one. You don't need a lot of technology, that's two. It is all now worked out in, who uses Facebook here? Let me ask that first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, half of the 6, 7, almost everybody. Now if you compare Facebook, Facebook has about 1 billion visitors per day. And if you can use that tool as a new media to reach your target audience, it is like this. If you go to a third world country, the internet is not covered everywhere. But most everybody have on their smartphone, they have Facebook. So you can reach your target audience in a microscopic way. Like you can really pinpoint where they are and what they do and influence them. That's the power of new media, and that is what my presentation is about. Understanding new media. I have given an example about an influencer, but he's very huge, and the most people here know influencers who are big on Instagram or on YouTube, who have a huge following. But I want to make a case here for micro-influencers. Micro-influencers are just the regular Joe and the regular Jane, are just your local ambassadors. So I suggest, look at somebody who can be in your village or who can be in your field of interest as a representative and ask them to promote your product, ask them to be part of your coalition in getting your message out there. It doesn't have to be a huge following, that will come later. First, find an ambassador. So that is how we can start building up a grassroots organization in small villages with little or no capital needed, because the infrastructure is there already. You have your Instagram, you have your Facebook, you have your YouTube. Only thing you can look for is a spokesperson, an ambassador, who will voice your message. You record it, make a platform, and you can get that message out to your audience there. What would be the advantage of this? The advantage of this is that, when local people see local ambassadors promoting renewable wind energy, small wind turbines for the local community, it gets them more involved, it gets the message more out there. Instead of getting a big influencer who has like tens of thousands and millions followers, that is not your market. So understanding micro-influencers is like an endorsement for your product with a local ambassador. How we go further, if you find your local ambassador, is like you have to get a message out there. I've seen young people especially, and also the older people, if they are using new media like Facebook or YouTube or Instagram, they are on their phones like every half hour, every minute they are on their telephones. So by updating your information, you are educating your audience, you are getting them involved, you are getting your message out there every time you post a new message, and that will get them more involved and more attracted to your product. Building stakeholder involvement, tying it together with the social platforms of a YouTube or a Facebook, or you create your own platform like webinars or training, and getting the message out there like once a week, once a month, to your targeted audience, to your Facebook group. You provide them with an opportunity to learn, to participate, get feedback from the people, direct feedback, and build like a group of people who will carry your product further. I've already touched about the different formats of what you can use, like webinar, but that is already a little bit bigger. There is a little bit of money involved in that. But you can use like the platforms that are already existing. You can easily make a WhatsApp group. Everybody uses WhatsApp. You can easily make a Facebook group and make use of these platforms for free. LinkedIn for the businesses. If you want to reach a little bit bigger businesses, you can use LinkedIn and tie them all together. So don't be like a standalone, like, okay, I do only Facebook because it's easier, but make it a holistic, a coherent approach of posting training videos, posting updates, giving a little bit of feedback, getting a local ambassador to endorse your product, and tying it all together, making a bigger impact on your targeted market. The micro-influencer strategy is a tried and tested method. As I just asked the audience, you all know the big influencers who have millions of followers, but the micro-influencers is good for your brand, it's good for your business because of the endorsement of a local ambassador. Local ambassadors are perceived like people as we are local, perceived as locals, you know, so people will buy easily from their peers. If they see that, you know, he lives here, I can trust him, there's more trust in somebody who is involved in the project locally than if you would have somebody who would endorse your product against a fee. And yeah, that's a little bit of overview of my company, what I do. I assist companies, small wind turbine companies, circular economy, people who are in the SDG departments. I assist them in making the transition to going on this platform, implementing the strategy of micro-influencers, and yes, getting results against the input that they put in. So that was my presentation. I don't know if you have any questions. Are there any questions from the audience? Yes?
What would you recommend for the small wind producers here? What strategy should they follow to get more out in the market? Now, you have mentioned some tools, but let's say if we draw a pathway.
If we draw a pathway, what should be step 1, step 2? Okay. Step 1 should be to identify a company or a local ambassador who carries your product already, who uses your product already, and who is very content with the outcome of your product. Have him endorse it and probably ask him to make a little film about it and post that film online using social media or using your closed network that you built yourself, platform that you built yourself. So step 1 would be identifying a local ambassador. Step 2 would be filming this ambassador endorsing your product. And step 3 would be getting the club that you want to reach, getting their data like email or their social media, and getting their approval that you can contact them to send them messages and updates about the development of the product, and if they would be interested in giving feedback and adopting the product over time. Does that answer your question? Thank you. Sir?
Well, I think this of course raises many questions, but most of all I wanted to say I think it's very interesting to get a fresh new approach of thinking about the end users, how to build a community, how to build a market, because often I think as engineers we are too focused on the technology, but we need a market, we need users, and we need this community you were saying. So mainly I wanted to say thank you for giving that perspective in a new way. I think that's very interesting.
You're welcome, thank you.
It's important to be found by a search on Google. What are the key things I have to do to be found by Google? And when I make a desktop search myself, I always end up in YouTube, and I didn't hear YouTube from you, but that seems also be one of the social media.
Yes, sure. Yes, sure. I did mention YouTube as well.
Where did you end up with that? You always end up where?
YouTube.
YouTube.
Okay.
YouTube, yes. I did mention YouTube as well, and YouTube is also part of.
And what are the keywords I have to attach on my presentation to be found by Google?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes.
That works.
So now you are being found by Google, but you are found by directed to YouTube, right? Is that what you're saying, or?
What are the key words
Okay.
I have used?
Yes, the keywords are like SEO. So that is about the marketing strategy that you're gonna use, and that you have. There is no, how you say that, uniform answer for that. You have to test it for 3-4 months. What are the keywords that come up, and then the search engines of Google will pick it up. And using a local ambassador and using this strategy of micro-influencers, you skip already the bigger part. So you come in a niche where you'll be found right away. And the micro-influencer strategy is actually to weed out the bigger group and come directly to your target group. So it is you have to try and test it over a couple of months and make the micro strategy work for you. You mentioned YouTube. YouTube is very huge, so that should also be incorporated in your in your strategy. Thank you for the question, and I did mention YouTube very fast, but a YouTube channel is also very easy to make, and you can post and upload videos, small videos, daily or weekly or monthly for your targeted audience. It is all about a lifelong learning experience, giving the people lifelong learning experience, leaving no one behind. And once you have that attitude, once you have that drive, you have the strategy already set out for the biggest part. Does that answer your question? All right, thank you. I don't have any questions from the millennials or the Generation Z.
I have a question. Would you agree that maybe there are two separate cases when we talk about like business coming with the products to the market, and maybe as more like a social union of people that really want a subject to go worldwide? What I'm saying is, some companies would like to market their products, their line of products, and maybe they are not giving up the information on the technology, but the product as itself, because they want the people to buy something. But wouldn't be nice, or wouldn't be a good idea first for the community that is interested in renewable energies, in producing electricity and producing energy in general, but from a cleaner way, a way more friendly with the environment. So would it be like different the strategy, trying to take this idea more as a social way? Do you understand my question?
I think I understand your question. You can make it like a project, like a social development project. And a project is something that is ongoing long term for a year, 2 years. If you have that approach, because what we're talking about here is maybe you have people who are already anxious and willing to adopt the new technology and to motivate others. But what we're talking about here actually is a change of mentality. Giving people a new perspective that is not only renewable energy, but it produces water, clean water. It is not only renewable energy, but it produces food. You see, and then, you get people interested. And once you find their hot buttons, like they are interested in clean energy, they are interested in environment, they are interested in probably money-wise economics. Once you find that hot button, you find an ambassador and you elaborate on that. You give them what you know about the industry, what you know about your schooling. There is so much information out there that you can put in bite-sized packages and repackage it in a local language with a local ambassador to the local people of your audience, and then tie it together with whatever they use. I know I am from a third world country, Suriname. I know there that if you do a Google search on Suriname, then you will see that it's one of the most dense populated countries that uses Facebook. We have a coverage of Facebook of about, I think, 95%. So that is unique. So you use Facebook. If there is, like in Africa, I have friends in Africa, they don't use Facebook so much, but they use the WhatsApp. So you can use the WhatsApp, you can use Instagram, you can use YouTube, make videos, you can use your own platform with webinars for the more serious people, 15 minutes, 45 minutes, give a quality training, put it in bite-sized segments, and update it. The key is you got to be on it, like I would say as a fanatic myself, daily. But that would be maybe an overkill. But if you post weekly or monthly information about your product, you give them different ideas of adaptation. You package the message in local language. You package the message in, like you said, for a business executive, a different way, for local people, a different way, in dialect, with the local ambassador. Your message will get through. So I agree with you what you say, like, if you have a group of people who are already willing to adopt your product, find their hot buttons. What are they really looking for? Are they looking for financial gain? Are they looking for saving the planet? Are they looking for food, clean water? Elaborate on that. And be creative. You don't have to spend a lot of money for endorsement of anybody. You can use a local person to be your ambassador. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Thank you. Any question from Jan? No. All right, then we come to the Mr. Monte.
No, I'm not further questions. Thank you very much for an interesting point coming up for us who are not so familiar with it, but we see it as a new way also to promote the small wind. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Well, let's call it a day and continue with